Hey everyone, have you ever wondered what would happen if you did an ice bath every morning for 330 days? Well, join me because in this video, I'll share my experience of doing exactly that. So let's get into it. So I obviously wanted to get all the benefits of cold water immersion efficiently. So I previously knew that I really like cold water immersion because I'd done a lot of Lido swimming here in London during the kind of spring and autumn months. So I knew the feeling of getting out of the water and feeling really good. I then listened to Andrew Huberman's podcast talking about the benefits of cold water immersion. So having increased energy and focus, building resilience, and also increased metabolism, which aligns with one of my weight loss goals as well. So there seemed like huge advantages to doing cold water immersion. But to be honest, going for the Lido every day was a complete faff. It was about 20 minutes away. You had to pay. Sometimes it would be closed or too full. So it just really wasn't efficient. So I was really looking for a way to get cold water immersion really efficiently. So I was really pleased to see when this kind of trend kicked off that there were a number of really cheap options out there on the market, I think for about £100. And I went for the Lumi cold water tub and started doing 6 minutes of cold water exposure every morning as I woke up. I put the tub right outside my back door, so it's super efficient, really easy. And because of the way the tub's constructed, it's very lightweight. It means there isn't a huge amount of insulation. So during the winter, it gets very cold, so the water's a decent temperature. I found that over the year, the temperatures kind of range between 2 degrees C, which is about 35 degrees Fahrenheit, to 18 degrees C in September, which is about 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And according to Mark Harper in his book, Chill, the Cold Water Cure, he says that anything below kind of 20 degrees C or 68 degrees Fahrenheit is optimal. And that's because at this temperature, the skin vasoconstricts maximum. So this range is completely fine, but I like it a little bit colder, or try to make it a bit colder. However, I found that getting a ton of ice every day is just also really inefficient, really expensive. So I got these like Yeti giant ice blocks. I think I've got 4 of them and they cost me about 100 quid as well. So I freeze these in my freezer so that before bed I just put them in the ice bath, and then the ice bath is a little bit cooler and ready to go by the time I get there in the morning. I think in the peak of summer, so when it was around 18 degrees in the tub, I think these managed to drop it by another kind of 2 degrees Celsius, so I think worth it. And then this year I upgraded to the Lumi Max with the kind of thermal cover, so I'm hoping that during the summer it would stay much colder. I chose 6 minutes just because I read a study in Ross Edgley's book World's Fittest, where he talks about a study that showed the positive benefits of ice baths after 6 minutes, so I just chose that as an arbitrary time and kind of stuck to it. It feels about right to me. Obviously the temperature's kind of fluctuated with the weather over the year, and I kind of tracked that over time as well, using a little rubber duck with the temperature. Another thing I do, which is another recommendation from Mark Harper in his book Chill, is to put your face under and do that 3 times. Apparently that stimulates the nervous system maximally, so it's important to dunk your head in and do that 3 times at least, he recommends. And I definitely feel the benefits of putting my head under as well, and it's quite nice to kind of, particularly in the summer, cool down a bit as well. And I obviously do it in the morning before exercise, so I literally do it the first thing in the morning because Andrew Huberman says that aligns best with your kind of natural body temperature cycle, and also he recommends doing it prior to exercise as well. And that's because of the vasoconstriction that's caused by the cold water can create muscle atrophy, so do it before exercise if possible and in the morning. So after 330 days, I definitely feel the increased alertness, definitely. I definitely feel the kind of, resilience and grit side of it, because it is really tough. It's the hardest thing I do in the morning. Definitely harder than my workout, and also when it's dark outside, so in the dark depths of winter, it's even more difficult. So it really does get your mind used to doing that difficult thing, moving towards challenge, I would say. Metabolism-wise, I haven't really felt a thing, but I've been doing lots of other things to change my diet and exercise, so that's hard to pull out, but it definitely feels good when you get out. Like, you feel like energized, ready to go. Overall, I absolutely love it. I wouldn't have done it for 330 days if I didn't. I think the main benefits are the alertness, so it immediately kind of removes any grogginess that you might have. It's refreshing, it clears your mind, you feel so much better afterwards, and although it's hard to get in, it just feels like a complete reset. And if I need to gain a bit of perspective, I'll quite often just jump in and enjoy that benefit again, particularly if it's in the morning. And I was reading the book Dopamine Nation by Anna Lembert, and she was saying that cold water immersion gives you a 250% spike in dopamine post-immersion. So I think that's probably what's created the addictive nature around it. So it's that classic thing of where it's hard initially, but it feels good after, so you just keep going back for more, and you kind of forget about the hardness initially. I also feel like I'm better adapted to the cold as well, which is another interesting transformation. So particularly when it got into the colder months in January, I felt my fingers and toes would go numb, but after a while that kind of went away. So I like to think that cardiovascular system, the vasoconstriction, vasodilation muscles have got stronger through exposure to the cold water. Therefore my circulation arguably has increased, but hard to know that for sure. It's just something I've noticed. And yeah, I guess one of the struggles is keeping it cold over the summer without spending a fortune on ice or creating tons of ice. So hopefully the new insulated model with the insulated cover from Lumi fixes that for me. That was my story of 330 days of ice baths, some of the key benefits I've noticed over the long term. I'm going to carry on doing it again and again, and I'll let you know how the Lumi insulated version works. So yeah, if you want to hear more from me, don't forget to check out this video here, and I'll see you soon.